Man, it's been a while since I've talked with a lot of you guys. Good to see all of you guys. Been a while since we've had like an actual planned setup Mountain Blade meeting,
User was
and
moved to your
so I got a
channel.
few things to talk about Mountain Blade, what's gonna be different in this OP, when there's gonna be the secondary signups, and why you should sign up pretty quickly. But all in all, I want to say I'm really surprised by how many people have signed up today. I figured it'd only be like 3 or 4 people, and that was it. So far, we've had 11 signups within the first day. It's really going pretty good, and I think there's another 9, 10. I think there's like another 12 more people or so that say they're going to be signing up pretty soon. So this OP is going to be smaller than the previous one, but that's better because in these political OPs, you don't need as many people to make it work out. Especially, I mean, the last political OP, I think at one point we only had like 14 people playing, and it worked perfectly fine. And that's because everybody is an independent player who affects what goes on. Anyways, though, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to the meeting. So, one of the big things I want to talk about was we canceled all Jest servers. All of them have been canceled, and all of our servers have been moved over to new providers, so we're no longer using Jest server. The new provider that we're using is called Citadel Hosting. We have the server set on high CPU. I bumped up the server slots from 20 because I reduced it last time to 20 slots, but instead I just figured I'd put up to 40 just in case we did a battle or an event against some other faction or clan or something like that. And also the server's been moved to Dallas, Texas, which it was in Dallas, Texas. The other thing about the servers as well is that it is also going to have high CPU priority. uh,
Was that in the background?
that was my dad.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, I heard you.
Question.
What's up?
When are the servers going up and when's the RP event going to happen?
So the OP is going to be starting next week on Friday, and the server will also be going up on Friday, and that'll be the start of the Civil War. Now, you guys if you want to be like heavily in this OP, then you're probably going to want to
User was moved to your channel.
not participate, sign up within this as quickly as possible. Another thing as well is that if you want to actually get anywhere in this OP, you are going to need friends. This is not one of those OPs where you can rely on a big stack of an army to defeat people. You're going to need a lot of friends to help you out, or else you're gonna get crushed. If you're going for the power grabbing route. If you're like a factory guy or into that type of stuff, then you probably won't need any help, seeing that you can literally just play everyone through money. So one thing I need to put out, this is not based on historical accuracy. Some of the stuff that I do, of course, gets people triggered. So, for instance, I remember when Dingus got assassinated, he thought I was just going to let his character die off and just not fix anything like that. If something like that happens, and it's pretty obvious of what's going on, don't get all mad or pissy about it. The big problem we had to the last OP was that people get all pissy about something or one of the features in the game or whatnot, and then they don't realize that usually there'll be some form of compensation or that I'll be there to try to fix it. So just remember that. Another thing about this OP as well is that there's going to be a few newer features than the one beforehand. The influence is coming back as well, the influence system. A lot of people kind of like that. One big question is will you retain the same political office you had from the last OP? The only person that will retain the same political office will be Boom and his cabinet members. Otherwise than that, that'll be it. The only reason why is because it's kind of like a reset. I've also had a lot of people ask me what's going to happen after the Civil War. After the Civil War, there's going to be a trial for whichever the main leader loses. So either if Alexander loses, there'll be a trial against him to see what happens to him, or if Boom loses, there'll be a trial against him. All the lower generals will be freed, and hopefully the two big leaders, Boom specifically and Alexander, they don't get their characters killed. Because the problem is that if you kill off their characters, then it just ruins the OP at the beginning. So it'll either be between the choice of pardoning them or putting them in prison for the rest of their life. In that case, yeah, that limits your possibilities a lot in the OP, but at least it gives you some sort of chance to be able to escape or pay your way out. There's also going to be not as many events in Mount & Blade. I hope you guys realize that this is something that's not like, constantly in Mount & Blade. We do a lot of the political meetings in TeamSpeak. The debates, the court cases. The only thing that goes on in Mount & Blade is the battles and the presidential speeches and private feasts. So there will be like feasts and ballrooms and stuff like that that will be happening in the server, but it'll be very rare and only on special occasions, like the changing of a year or a new the president's been elected, or someone hosted on their own, in which that will cost players money. Speeches, if you win the office of presidency, then you have to give a speech to all the players. That gives an opportunity for you to get assassinated, but it also gives a little bit of role play into it. And then finally, of course, there's the battles and gang wars. So in the last RP, we had one gang war and no battles. And the one gang war was like literally, it was like two people shooting at another guy, and they killed him. So anyways, basically another thing as well as about this is that there's going to be a few new building additions. There's going to be a bit reworking of a few things as well, and another thing as well is you got to remember, this isn't all based on pure logic and whatnot. So let's say, in the last OP, if I rule out something and you find it stupid, just calm down, breathe in, it's just a game. You can build yourself. Another thing as well is don't expect going into this OP expecting action after the Civil War. I doubt anything will happen after the Civil War that's as big as the Civil War itself. I doubt it. If there is, then good job. Another thing as well is this OP. Of course, we always set dates of how long we want the OPs to last. I would like this OP, since it's the political one, and the political ones can tend to end depending on what happens in a very quick process. I'd want this one to last at least 2 weeks. That doesn't mean I'm going to cut it off at 2 weeks, because like the last one I said I wanted to last at 3 weeks, and we went like 3 weeks and like 4 or 5 days afterwards until finally everyone just got bored of it. But that's kind of the...
cut off the last one?
Yeah, we kind of did just cut off the last one at the end, because a lot of big leaders started leaving and stuff like that, because they were getting kind of bored of it.
School screwed you over.
That was the political OP. School screwed me over in that one. Anyways, basically, so I kind of want it to last for at least 2 weeks, though. That's why I wanted to get to the point. Another good thing as well is this is starting right when my summer break starts. Some of you may be on summer break, some of you may be getting really close to that. So it should be a lot easier for this OP to, move through. Now, you gotta remember, all of you guys that are signing up, you'll all be given moderator. Please don't troll with the moderator, post random announcements. Make sure that they're all roleplay related. Don't be stupid with them. There's the last few things I want to add into this before I dismiss all of you guys. So we'll be here for about maybe another, 5-10 minutes. One thing I do need to say is that the signups are going for the factions are going to probably be on Tuesday or Wednesday for political parties. So that's when political party signups will start, and then the OP will start on Friday. All the features should be done by late Friday, and otherwise than that is about it when it comes to the actual in-depth part of the OP. Now, one other thing as well is that a lot of this has to do with in-Steam OP and stuff like that. And so if you're not really into that, then, this may not be for you. But at the same time, there is still gameplay in the actual game itself. The mod we're going to be using is Blood and Iron. Now, that mod tends to have problems with people. Some people can't even launch the mod. To help out with that, I'm going to be making a personal, little document that shows a bunch of different things I found to get the game to actually run. There's 3 different things that I found that makes the game actually run compared to some people that can't load it up. One is that you have to have your high definition on medium. It has to be set there or else it will not load. 2, you have to have load textures on demand. 3, there is an unofficial patch that is out there, and that unofficial patch makes it to where the game menu loads so much more faster. And 4, try running it as administrator. I'll detail how to do all this stuff in a document. That'll be about maybe a page or 2 long to help people out with that. The problem with red and blue is that the configuration files for it are messed up heavily, and they're not updated to the most modern version of Mount & Blade. That's the big problem with that one. Blood and Iron completely changed the whole Napoleonic War script and based it off of the North and South, compared to Red and Blue, which is solely based off the Napoleonic War script. And since the script from Napoleonic Wars was updated, that means the configuration files were updated, meaning that that mod is no longer compatible with any sort of Mount & Blade server unless we reverted the server to a previous version of Mount & Blade, which means that you guys would have to revert Mount & Blade to a previous version, meaning you'd be deleting a lot of data and stuff like that. So all the, new admin stuff and factions that were added in for Napoleonic Wars, you'd have to uninstall. And that would just be a big pain in the ass. Some people don't even know how to move a damn zip file into the Mount & Blade directory. What's up, Frenzy?
I actually tried the Blood Iron mod a while back. Yeah, and on one of the Blood Iron, on a few of maps, I put a link for a screenshot of it. Like that came up like constantly.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, the errors will pop up a lot, but I think we'll just have to deal with that.
Alright then.
Yes, those will. Okay, so yes, those do tend to come up quite a bit. But wait, what is this for? What? Oh, is this Blood and Iron?
Yeah, it is Blood Iron.
That looks like red and blue. I've never seen. Oh, yes, it is. It is. First off, all the flags on the teams are messed up for some reason, and this is a Napoleonic Wars map. Huh.
Actually, it was
It's
a Blood
an
Iron
earlier
map.
version.
What version was this from?
I'm not sure. Like it was from like a few days back.
Oh, then it should be recent.
Anyways, otherwise than that, that is pretty much it. You guys are dismissed. Please go sign up. Once we get 20 signups, we'll start. It'll be on Friday, of course, but as you can, make sure that you do your bios right. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day.
Alright.
Alex, you need to talk. Oh, by the way, before you guys leave, about Arma and Rust. Rust, I have big plans for doing Midsummer. I want to get something big going for Rust in Midsummer, but for right now, we're not doing Rust or Arma events. We're gonna be focused. We're switching the group mode from break mode back to roleplay mode, so that means that we will not be doing Arma events. So I'll message all the Arma boys and tell them they'll have to wait a little bit before we go back to Arma.
That's gay.
And also, we're not. I mean, you can hop on the Rust server if you want. But do know that by Midsummer, everything's going to be wiped, and we're going to be starting an entirely new idea on it. Alright.
It's kind of
Yeah,
sad the way
Wait,
Rust is
wait,
devolved.
One question.
Yeah, what's up, Canadian?
So you said I want to be like a native man.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the native culture on the island based off of?
They're based off of, like, the Caribbean. So have you ever played, like, Tropico? The game? Yeah, it's kind of like based off of those type of natives, like Caribbean type natives mixed with Spanish influence. It's kind of like that.
So they're Spanish?
Kind of. It's like a mix between a Caribbean natives and like Spaniards. So they look brown, but they at the same time they look like they're Spanish. Man, I really wish I had like an artist or something to like draw this stuff out. I've been trying to find
So
like
a Mexican?
no, not like a
Well, I mean,
Mexican. Think of a Filipino. Think of a Filipino. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just think of a Tropican.
Yeah, that. Somewhere around there. Kind of like an Asian, almost like native, I guess. Somewhere around there. Somewhere around
Can
there.
I ask a question?
Alright.
Yeah, what's up?
So, when the war is over, will we get a casualty report? I just find it cool to see. I mean, it's not
Yes,
really
there
cool.
will be. So in the last political OP, we had like statistics and stuff like that showed the population, what like religions they followed, the national makeup of them. Most of them being Koskian, the rest being British and stuff like that. I actually have an updated version of that. I'll tell you guys in just a minute, actually. But yes, there will be a casualty rate. I want to actually tell you guys. This is what I got for the national statistics of the population of Casca. So the population of Casca is, and there's a new feature for that, which means that you can give individual populations different rights and take away different rights for them. There'll also be a new public order system. Anyways, there is now, the total population of Casca is 3.5 million people. 55% are Cascian, which makes that 1,925,000 people. 11% are British, which is 385,000. 9% are Caribbean, which is 315,000 people. 8% are Franican, which is 280,000 people. 7% is Histanian, which is 245,000 people, and 6% is Bardian, which is 210,000 people. The rest is just other, like 4% from other different places of the world.
Yeah, that's lots all the places in Stormbringer as well, like a bit down Bardia.
Because I put Casca like in the middle of the ocean, kind of where Nara is, so it's kind of closer to, it's way closer to Bardia than Humania ever was. way closer. But this is like the 1930s, so by this point, there's people all over the place.
We're using some outdated technology.
Felix, you should have kept the lore pages so it wasn't canceled to find things. Yeah, I know that, and I also need to get back to updating the wiki page. I say I'm gonna update the wiki page, and then I never do it, and then when I do get to it, I add in like 5 pages.
That wiki page was canceled last time I looked at it, Nellis.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wait. I was just talking about the side thing of it. The, what's it? The information. I could care less about the information. That was placeholder stuff. Think of it as almost like a beta game. But anyways, no, but the main wiki page itself, I still need to update and, like, add in different stuff. I've been trying to find an artist. There's a lot of people in my school that take art classes and want to go into college for that type of stuff, and they're really good at it. And there's a few pictures I have of different people and whatnot that I thought about putting on the wiki and asked them if I could use it, and they're like, yeah, sure, I just haven't done it yet. I even got Wolfie to donate some money to me through PayPal so I could maybe go online and try to find an artist or something like that and get them to draw me something. First person I want to get drawn is Titus, and then I'll move on to different characters after that. The 2 characters I want to be drawn out the most is Titus and William the Unforgiving. Those are my 2 most favorite characters in the lore so far. But at this point, the meeting's been over. You guys have been allowed to leave. I'm just rambling at this point.
All right.
You need to have a wiki. You need to have the wiki page
User
that links everything.
disconnected from your
Yeah,
channel.
I've been working on that as well. I got one part of the faction things done, but I still have so much to add.
User
So yeah, I've been
disconnected
working
from
on
your
that.
channel.
Alex, what'd you need to talk to me about?
The Mountain Blade server.
Yeah, what's up?
User
I was going to
disconnected
ask
from your channel.
exactly when it's going to
User
be up,
disconnected
along
from
with
your
a few
channel.
other
It's going up
things
next
to do
week.
with faction selection and such.
Right, so it's going to be up
User
on
disconnected
Friday.
from your channel.
Okay, I don't imagine I could convince you to do it earlier.
No, the only reason why is because I gotta actually build up the server. Since I
Okay.
switched over to these providers that don't actually build the servers for me, I have to like re-put in everything on my own. That's gonna be
Alright, fair enough.
canceled.
And then I was going to ask, what's it going to be like in terms of faction selection? Because I was discussing today with my party members which faction we'd like to take in-game, and I was wondering if that's actually a thing we can do.
Yeah, I'll give you a selection. It's not gonna be a big selection. You can either have the Americans or the British. But if you use the British, you can't use any of their line infantry.
Okay, see, I was thinking more along the lines of the French,
Right?
Yeah.
because
I
they
would
have
like to
the
be
partisan
French.
troops, they have, you know, actual rebellion stuff. Not to
Oh,
mention
true.
They have good rifles,
Oh,
shotguns. It's good stuff.
Will the ability to recruit like mercenary players into your army be allowed? Or like assassins?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, to be honest with you. I haven't really thought about how the Civil War is going to go, to be honest with you. I've just been kind of waiting to see.
User disconnected
That
from
was,
your
that was
channel.
a big question as well. Are we starting right as soon as the Civil War starts, or are we giving it a bit before it actually fires off?
It's like right when the Civil War starts.
Okay, okay.
Does anyone need another hand to fight with?
You can join my faction. We are the Rebellion.
Okay.
Alright, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I was surprised that many people showed up. Guess that's what you get for actually planning stuff. It was like, I think 16 or 17 people. Yeah, there was 16 in total.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Ron, were you there at all for that meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear the
User
part about
disconnected
Bardia
from your
having a
channel.
population?
Yeah, I commented on it, mate. I literally commented on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you did. I'm sorry about that. I get so wrapped up in talking and stuff like that, I just kind of blot out everybody. It's not just you,
Yeah,
trust me.
well, the guy I made a character bio. The guy I made he's from Afelheim, which is the huge island that's next to Bardia, the one
Mm-hmm.
on the right. Yeah, so I guess he's like the part of the 4% of the population who are from all the places, you know.
Right. I really like because like the thing is I started adding in like all the continents and whatnot. And I remembered that I'm the only one that made continents, and then I remember it was like, oh yeah, Ron has a few, and so I was like, I'll just put like a small population of Bardians on the island since Casca's kind of in the middle of the
User
friggin'
disconnected
ocean.
from your channel.
Yeah, my character's bio, it isn't anything big. It's like it isn't that special, but it's something.
Right.
I kind of like it.
Well,
Who's
anyway.
who's cocking like a airsoft gun or something?
Oh,
I don't
that was
know.
That was me. It's not an airsoft gun, but
What is it then?
22.
You're cocking an actual 22.
Yeah. It's not loaded.
Why?
Oh my god, Felix.
I don't
Felix.
know. I have a Magnum sitting like right next to me. This is Texas, dude. Everybody's got guns
You're the
everywhere.
most stereotypical American in history. Just like cocking a gun while talking.
Like the thing is that like I thought it was funny because one of our teachers actually has a pistol in his drawer, and it's like we're like I don't know if that's allowed or not.
Huh, you don't live in Bosnia. Here, everyone has AK. I'm just kidding.
What?
Yes,
My
he's
teacher
good.
had an AK-47 because he fought in the war. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
God.
god.
Now, fun fact: the AK was actually made after World War II.
It was modeled after STG-44, but the Russians messed it up because you know they're Russian.
Yeah, but it's
Relatable.
like every rifle made by Russians. It's cheap and durable.
Cheap and durable.
It's cheap.
Hell.
It was cheaply made, but
Made for
incredibly
Russia,
useful.
used for Chinese priorities.
Oh my god.
I thought it was funny as I was mentioning like the server,
Oh,
what the
Cold
server
Red.
had. My dad was like, "Hell yeah, brother!" And someone heard him say that. I think it was you, Frenzy. You were like, "Who's that in the background?" I was like, "That was my dad."
Oh, who's that guy? Who's that wrestler with like the handlebar mustache?
You
Like-
hear that?
Like I heard
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and I would kind of like think of like that one wrestler with the handlebar mustache, like the blonde handlebar mustache, just like saying yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Civilian casualties, more like acceptable casualties.
Boy,
That's
give me
not
my axe,
overused
boy.
at all.
H-
Ain't no kill like overkill.
Someone
No
died.
such thing as genocide when you're cleaning.
Oh
Cough,
god.
cough,
Jesus
boom, cough,
Christ.
cough.
Cough, boom, cough, cough.
It's not genocide. It's ethnic cleaning.
Oh my god. It's not delivery, it's du jour now.
Bye.
Alright,
Okay.
I'll see you
User
around.
disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.